Welcome back to Fog Gaming, and today we're going to be doing a Resident Evil tier list. And you may be wondering, by God, Big Stevie, there's quite a lot of games there. Don't worry, we're not going to do every single one. Why? Because I've not played every single one. There's like some weird versions of them, there's remake versions I've no done, but I'm going to rank everyone I've played. And to be fair, that is still the majority here, and we're going to rank them into 5 categories: GOAT, Great, Good, Bearable, Awful. Now, awful, self-explanatory. Bearable for me is it's acceptable as a game. You can deal with it, but it's not good, right? And I feel like there's a few games that come under this category. So we're going to go from left to right, and we're going to begin with the original Resident Evil on the PlayStation 1, 30 years old this year, and for me, it's great. But just great. I think it's kind of bordering between good and great. I mean, it's the original, right? The voice acting is iconic for all the wrong reasons. The graphics aren't the best, if we're being brutally honest about things. But by God, I mean, it's the granddaddy of them all, you know. Without this game, where would we be? So I'm going to put it in great. Love the story. Obviously, the remastered version, which we'll get to, you know, the story doesn't change, okay? It's still fundamentally the same game, and the story's fantastic. I actually like the live action cutscenes they did as well, but yeah, maybe it's nostalgia, but I don't think it's quite GOAT tier, put it that way. Up next, we've got Resident Evil 2. And I'm going to put Resident Evil 2 top of great for now. I think it's better than the first Resident Evil. I just think the graphics, I mean, they're not much better, don't get me wrong, but I think it's not as clunky and it doesn't look as shit, if I'm being honest. Now, Resident Evil 2, I never actually played this on the PlayStation 1. I played it on the GameCube many moons ago. Now, obviously, the difference is the original Resident Evil was actually remade for the GameCube. So, there's that. Technically, that's been remade twice when you actually think about it. But anyway, we will put Resident Evil 2 there. Leon and Claire, love the story. But I do think its story's not as good as the first one, but I do think overall the game is better. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Right, I've never actually completed this one. I've seen it played a lot. I've watched a lot of videos on it. I have played it though, so I am going to rank it. See, the problem is, I don't think it's as good as the first two, but I do think the original one is so much better than the remake, because the remake just excluded a lot of content from it. But I'm going to put it there. I mean, in terms of a trilogy of games, you can't really go wrong with that, can you? Right, but I've never played Resident Evil Survivor, so we're going to move into Resident Evil Code Veronica. Resident Evil Code Veronica, of course, Claire and Chris. Now, I think there's parts of Resident Evil Code Veronica that I think are fantastic. I love the Wesker fight scenes. I love the fact Wesker's in it. I think some of the Wesker Chris stuff, I mean, a lot of people don't even know about it because the game, I mean, it is, of course it's canon, right? It did happen, but it's almost like it's kind of, it's like the ugly sister. It's, you know, it's forgotten about kind of deal. But I really like it. But I'm going to put it in good. There's parts of the game I don't like. You know, I don't like the whole, what's the guy that comes down the stairs, like the twins. I don't really like that. The Ashford twins. I'm more into the Chris versus Wesker thing, and in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't take up too much of the game. It's close to great, but I'll put it in good. Up next, so I mean, what the fuck is, what is it? Resident Evil Survivor 2 Code Veronica. Never played it, but I have played the remake, guys. I'm looking to see if there's another one of this. No, so whether it's on the GameCube or whether it's on, like, you know, the HD remaster, I think this is GOAT tier. This game is fantastic. I love it, man. I could play this any day, every day, for the rest of my life. Love the story. I love the fact the two campaigns are different. The soundtrack, just everything about it's perfect. And the first game's brilliant, the 96 version, don't get me wrong, but by God, this is the graphics that we need it. But now, in 2026, you're seeing every other game get remade. Remake the original one. The original one getting remade to the graphics of the new 2, 3, and 4. fuck, man, it's the perfect game. Get it made. It's GOAT tier. I love it. Resident Evil Zero. See, it's weird, right? I actually really like this game, and the graphics back in the day were like, obviously came out in the GameCube, so it had like that advantage over like the other ones, like 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3. But I don't think the story's as good. I just don't really. Billy and Rebecca, I mean, they're alright, Billy and Rebecca, but, you know, they're not Claire, they're not Leon, they're not Chris, they're not Jill, they're not Wesker, all those guys, they're just nowhere near it. It does feel like a B level game, but I do think overall it's better than Code Veronica, even though I do prefer like the Wesker Chris stuff, as explained. Right, Resident Evil Outbreak. So, yes, I have played this game. Now, actually, have I played this game? This is the one where there's like 8 different characters, isn't it? No, it's bearable. You know, it's a Resident Evil game, right? But I don't think it's awful, right? But it's not Resident Evil. But unlike other games on this list, it's more Resident Evil than them. Right, up next we have got the original Resident Evil 4. I'm going to be brutally honest, guys. Some people are going to lose the melon here. It's great for me. I don't honestly. I mean, don't get me wrong. The game's great, right? And I do think it's a phenomenal game. But I don't think the story is really anywhere near previous ones. I think the first one's much better. I think the second story's much better. I think 5 story's much better. Personally, you get like the final act of Wesker in 5, which we'll get to. So, yeah, I know that's going to be controversial, but I do think 4's pretty overrated. But I understand why people rate it, because the first 3, very different 5. This one, obviously, you know, the third person angle, it's a lot more action than horror. I understand it, but for me, I'll put it top of great. Right, up next, we've got Resident Evil: The Umbrella Chronicles. Now, this was on the Wii. It was also, you can also play it on PS5 these days. It's weird. It's actually fine. I like the fact that it ties together like loose ends. You can play as Wesker leaving the mansion. Yeah, I mean, I actually thoroughly enjoyed this, but it just doesn't feel like the other ones, you know. Resident Evil 5, I am putting it there. I'm tempted to put it above 1, but that would simply be. I mean, it's the memories, you know, the co-op. The co-op element's fantastic. I mean, Mercenaries mode, I love that. I even love even the Versus mode. I think Versus mode was good. You know, the final act between Chris and Wesker, just the customization options. I just think overall it's a very neat game, right? You get the return of Jill as well, and it was obviously at that point it was the first Resident Evil to come out on the newer generation of consoles, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and I really enjoyed it, right? Resident Evil: The Dark Side Chronicles, I've played it, but I don't think it's as good as the Umbrella Chronicles, so I'm going to put it in there. Right, up next, Resident Evil Revelations. I don't like these games. I actually don't like these Resident Evil Revelations. I mean, I've played a little bit of them, but I don't really know an awful lot about them. You know what, man, I'd probably need to play these, so I'm going to put it in there. Up next, I mean, I've played them, but I haven't played them more. I mean, like the other ones I've played extensively is what I'm saying. That's all. I'll put it in bearable. Right, Operation Raccoon City. Yeah, this is just like a cash grab, wasn't it? You know, you play as Delta Team, you play as Umbrella. It's better than Outbreak, but I do think Revelations is better. Right, Resident Evil 6. You know what, man? I was actually playing this last night. Co-op, split screen. Don't understand why there's so much black screen going on, by the way, with it. Really don't understand that. But, is it good? And you know what, man? I think they dropped the ball with it. I'm going to put it at the top of bearable. But when you look at the components, right, you get 3 campaigns. You've got Wesker's son. You've got Sherry Birkin returning. You've got Chris, right? You've got Ada in there. You've got Leon, and loads of other characters are scattered throughout this game. you got like people on screen for the first time, like Chris and Leon, and it just comes up a little bit short. There's just something off about it. It doesn't feel like the ones previous to it. It's weird, man. It's weird. It's almost hard to explain it, to be honest. Resident Evil Revelations 2. I'll put that right in there. Right. Up next, Resident Evil 7. I don't like Resident Evil 7, right? I've played it. It's not Resident Evil. I referenced it earlier with Resident Evil Outbreak, where, yeah, it's Resident Evil, but it doesn't feel like Resident Evil. Well, this, I think fundamentally that these are good games, this one, right? But it just doesn't, it ain't Resident Evil. And I think for a Resident Evil game, I'll be honest, I think it's awful. I do. I watch it, I play it, the Baker family, oh, so, Mo, the other guy that eats the rotten food at the table. I'm just sitting there thinking, this ain't Resident Evil. What the fuck's this? You know? I do not get it. Honestly, do not get it. Right. Up next, we have got Resident Evil 2. I love Resident Evil 2, the remake, but I don't think... I'm going to put it up there. Maybe recency bias, right? Now, I have played Resistance. I mean, it's just a fucking online mode, isn't it, at the end of the day? I mean, I'm not gonna rank that or reverse. It's the same shit. Right, Resident Evil 3. I think Resident Evil 3 is good. It's just far too short, right? Far too short. You know, if it included all of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, I'm honestly putting it up here. But it didn't, so for that reason I'm putting it in good. Up next we get Village. I think it's a lot worse than Resident Evil 7, so that's where it's going. The Resident Evil 4 remake, I'm going to put... it in there. In there. Good game. I do like the fact the graphics are a lot better than the original, but I don't think it's as good as the original. There's something just lacking a wee bit about it. Then the final one. And in the final one, we have got Requiem, and I've played about 2 hours of it. I like the Leon stuff. I mean, I don't mind the Grace stuff, but you just know they've tried to include the best of both worlds. Oh, look, the Leon stuff's like 2 and 4 and 3 and all that, while the Grace stuff, oh, it's like 7 and 8. But it kind of works. It kind of works. When Leon being back's good. I'm going to put it, though, in here for now. Maybe once I complete it, I'll have a different opinion of it. Anyway, though, guys, that is my ranking of Resident Evil. Obviously, these change. You know, you play it, you play remade versions, you hindsight, yada, yada, yada. This can always change. But it'll be interesting. You know what? I should probably do a compare and contrast with my tier list over on my channel from like 6-7 years ago and see what has changed in those years. Obviously, since then, there's been a lot more games. So we'll see, though. Till next time. Peace.